Number one, guys. Pretty historic game for the Bucks. Giannis balled out. Really balled out, and actually he was obsessed with that specific ball. He had 64 points, but it's not the scoring that got the attention, Brad. It was the antics after, and this is what we're talking about. Giannis, apparently, allegedly, the Pacers took the ball after the game, and Giannis wanted it because it's historic for him. That's his. I think it was the Bucks record at that time, or it was his personal record, both
franchise record and his.
So he wanted the ball, and you can see. The Pacers didn't want to give it up. Now, on the other side of it, apparently the Pacers allegedly kept the ball because one of the rookie Pacers scored his first 2 points in the NBA.
Yeah, Oscar Tshiebwe.
And can you say that again?
Oscar Tshiebwe.
Yep.
I only honestly said it to flex. I knew how to say it.
And
Tshiebwe.
I love that because
in college too.
So Giannis though went nuts,
Bunny.
And that was one of the most reactive reactions you could ever imagine. And guys, let's go around here. And Brad, I'll start with you. What the hell do you think? Is that worth that type of reaction?
So there needs to be a little bit of context. The context is the Pacers and the Bucks were like going at it all game.
Mm-hmm.
And so like this was something that like was kind of like building, and Giannis, of course, overreacted. I think that he could even admit that. And something struck me this morning when Stephen A. Smith was talking about this. He's like, I've never seen anybody get a ball for scoring the first basket in the NBA ever. It's not like to me, it's not like scoring your first touchdown, right? Because touchdowns don't really come around like that easily. But you start in the NBA, you score a bucket, like that's not really, to me, that significant. And so I agree with that. I thought it was interesting for Mark Cuban as well. He actually chimed in on this from TMZ Sports. He said, that if he were in charge of the ball at the center of Giannis's versus Pacers tiff, the Buck superstar would be disappointed because he would have given the memento to Indiana. Dallas Mavericks owner said that if you're going to have a rookie who's never scored before in an NBA game, that's a big deal. That only happens once. So he continued. He said, "I'd give the ball to the rookie," and then he brought up like just like another idea, maybe of just taking the box score, get the teammates to sign it, and frame it for Giannis. I think that's kind of cheesy. I understand where Mark Cuban's coming from, but like, no, Giannis deserves the ball. 64 points. It's a franchise record and his own record. I think that's just going to be way more significant. I understand that you only score your first basket once, but you might only do this once. And so I just don't think that I think that what Giannis did was way more significant. And honestly, when you look at what happened and the things that happened, it seemed as if the Pacers were doing this out of spite and not for their boy who just scored their first bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 100% was out of spite. Like you said, this wasn't just a game where there was a player who scored their first basket and Giannis put on a career game, and then Giannis was like, I want the ball. And they're like, no. There were a lot of scuffles during this game. It had gotten really physical. These players were going at it for 48 minutes. And at the end of the game, the Pacers, extremely petty, but I think it's funny, decided, okay, we're just going to take the ball then. And we saw everything ensue. There's videos of Giannis running through security into the locker rooms to chase after the ball. He's screaming at Tyrese Haliburton to get the ball back. Guys are going back and forth. And I mean, I did not think a headline in this NBA season would be over a physical basketball who got to keep it after a game. I didn't even know that they kept the basketball, if I'm being honest.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
You do. Rock, what you got?
I would like to add some context to this whole thing.
Please, Rock,
add some context. If you guys know the deal or don't know the deal. So in NBA games, there are two alternate basketballs used. You have a game ball and you have another. So basically there's a video, Scott Agnes, 2 S's on the end of his name, posted on Twitter. And it says, video from the Bucks telecast clearly shows Bucks security got the game ball and handed it to a team staffer. You see Damian Lillard shoot the ball after the buzzer. You see the ref then grab the basketball, and you see a Bucks assistant come up and take the basketball from the ref's hand to secure it. Now, here's the issue, I guess, here. Giannis said afterwards he's still not sure that it's the same basketball or it's the game ball, because of the feel of the basketball. And NBA players, they're crazy like that. Like they know if you're shooting a basketball the whole game, they know. But basically it says after Shibwe scored his first points, Rick Carlisle says he believed that the Pacers had one of the two alternate balls and did not need the official one. What we don't know, still it seems like a lot of people are unsure about this, is if there was a switch that occurred with the official basketball and the alternate basketball throughout, during, what happened. It's a mystery. It was a crazy scene afterwards. I really don't know it's a franchise record. I think you give Giannis the official game ball, you give Shibwe the alternate game ball, and done deal. It's over with. But to your point, Brad and Zach, tempers did flare during this basketball game. There was some pettiness as well. So yeah. I'm sure that added up. That was the fuel to the fire. But we're making such a big deal over a basketball, and it shouldn't be made that much of a deal over. It's like, Giannis, okay, get a basketball. You scored a franchise record for the Bucks. You get yours. Shibwe, here you go. Take yours. You scored your official NBA points. There we have it. Case closed.
It really is. Maybe I would feel, I guess, I say it's not that deep as someone who doesn't have feelings involved in it. I'm sure if it was, I just set a franchise record, my personal best, I would want the basketball. I'm sure if I scored my first NBA points, I would want the basketball. But like you said, Rocco, like, are we really making this a big story in the NBA? Well, we've officially hit that part of the NBA season where the only headlines really have nothing to do with basketball.
The highlights that got played were not Giannis scoring 64 points. It was Giannis going wild trying to get that puppy. But hey,